to the Post-Purchase Pro podcast. This is the only podcast that dives deep into post-purchase marketing to help Amazon sellers increase sales, ranking, reviews, and profits. It's everything that happens after the initial sale that makes a difference. We call this the back end.
All right, everyone. Today we have a very unique episode. We have a special guest that is kind of the trifecta here. He's not only an Amazon seller himself, an agency owner, but he's also a professor at Wake Forest. I am so happy to have you today, Mr. Jeff Campbell. Jeff, tell us why diversification is the way of the future for Amazon sellers and why that's where all the profit's going to be in the future.
Hey, Seth, thanks for having me. I love a stat that came out, or a study that came out earlier this year from the Association of National Advertisers. 56% of U.S. brands use more than 5 retail media networks, and 16% are even using more than 10. So no doubt Amazon's the big dog. It's gotten crowded. We've seen CPCs go up tremendously. And if you have a low AOV, average order value, sometimes you need 50% plus conversion rates to even make a profit or break even on that platform. So I think the competition, the channels that are available, and some of the techniques and advertising platforms that they have, bringing in offline data, in-store data, and more, and just the competition level. It's time to find a little blue ocean out there. Just a few of the reasons.
Yeah, I love it, Jeff. So we talk to sellers all the time, and a lot of sellers are making a good amount of sales, but they don't realize that they're not very profitable. And it's exactly like what you said. They are in a red ocean environment where the competition is fierce. They're spending way too much money on ads, and it's really a tough battle in some product categories on Amazon and other marketplaces. But where we've made a lot of our money is finding blue ocean opportunities within Amazon or even off of Amazon. So I'd love for you to talk a little bit about where's the biggest opportunities that you're seeing within Amazon now, and then off of Amazon for sellers to maybe tap into, maybe even a micro blue ocean. What are you seeing, Jeff?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, first things first, you have to understand your break-even profitability, right? So what are those costs of goods sold, the landing cost, your fees? Most of Walmart, everyone's going to take 15%, maybe a little category dependent. Return rates, breakage. Make sure we've got all of those variable costs taken out of your AOV, and understand what contribution margin's left, right? So then I'm able to say, all right, if I took all of that contribution margin, right, that gross margin, and I spend it on advertising, that's how I'm getting to my break even. So I'm going to come up with something like, it might be a $2.86 ROAS, return on ad spend, or a 27% total ACOS. But make sure you have that number, because that's really what you want to go and set. Hopefully technology, and you're not, from a human standpoint, going in every hour and making changes, as things are going to get better and worse by hour of day, by new competitor entry. Competitors might run out of budget. They might run out of inventory. And you're going to see, you're going to want to change your rankings and placement based on that. So there's a lot of great third-party technology out there, but certainly use that. In terms of platforms, I think right now, TikTok is probably the hottest to watch. Their ability to bring in commerce, the TikTok shop, to utilize influencers, and as those influencers make their UGC, their user-generated content, talking in a lot of TLAs already, Seth. It's like 3-letter acronyms. I try not to, right? But as they build out that UGC, you're able to use Spark ads to promote it. And that's really helping drive sales and really helping with product launches. Now, it's interesting. TikTok is trying to build more of a walled garden, so they keep people on TikTok and not bouncing out to websites or Amazon to buy. But that's a really interesting one as well. And another quote or another stat that I love is, I think you all know the majority of consumers start their product searches on Amazon. But in Q1, there was a report from Jungle Scout that looked at year over year, and Amazon's still the place people start, but less people are starting there. And then what is growing in terms of where people start their searches is Walmart, right? Is YouTube, is Instagram, and TikTok.
Yeah.
So you see this world of e-com, and I teach this in our digital marketing master's course. There's really three places a consumer can go to buy. So your website, your social commerce, there's various platforms, and marketplaces, right? And we've really seen a shift over the last 5 years away from websites. You're still seeing 2 to 4% conversion rates at best, but I don't want to enter in my email address again. I don't want to try and understand their shipping policies or return policies. And then on the other end, Amazon, I'm, the Prime guy. The trucks come in every week anyways. I love it. They stand by their products. I can go there and I can buy. And now, like the TikTok example, you've got social commerce really popping up. So you see the shop now buttons, the ability to, have your credit card saved in there. They already have a lot of my data that's needed to complete that purchase. And you're seeing that really grow. So it really all needs to work together. The trouble most of the sellers say is, I don't have enough money to be in all the places, right? I don't have enough time to build out content in all the different places. Vertical video, horizontal video, it does get cumbersome, but really to make sure when you go to market, you have a strong strategy of where you might go. But seeing a lot of growth in some of those platforms beyond Amazon, it's still the beast. You still need to be there. But we have had some of our brands that we've worked with find more success, both volume, surprisingly, and efficiency with Walmart. So we're all cheering them on because everybody loves a little more competition. It has gotten more competitive over the last year. We used to say it was 10% of sales of what Amazon was seeing. It's actually down more like 5 to 7% of sales now because there is a little more clutter. There is a little more competition on that marketplace, even in the last year, as they've opened it up to international sellers, for example.
Yeah, that's really good insight. So Jeff, you have a unique perspective here because you are a seller, you have multiple brands that you're running, but then you also are an agency owner and you have this website, Aicommerce. So you have, a more comprehensive look at the landscape than a lot of, sellers that are in the trenches every day have. And that gives you a unique advantage. So if I were going to come to you as a seller and say, Jeff, what are the places that I should be focused on? Because like you pointed out, I can't do everything. I can't make every ad format for all the platforms. I can't be on every platform. I don't have enough capital to fund all this inventory. What's the 80-20 here of what I should be doing today to get bigger results?
Yeah, two things I'll leave you with. One is from a platform perspective. You do need to start at Amazon. I think that is where the bulk of sales are happening. But do explore Walmart. I think that's a very easy ability to clone a lot of what you've done and learned on on Amazon over to Walmart. The other thing I'd look at besides that in the marketplace area is TikTok and trying social commerce. And overall, don't forget the sales equation. The sales equation is so important. And again, putting on the professor hat here, traffic. So everybody wants revenue, right? That's why we're all doing this. Traffic times AOV times conversion rate equals revenue. So those are your three big levers to play with, right? And so for us, from an agency standpoint, we focus heavily on traffic, right? So where are you going to get the traffic, the efficiency of the traffic, the CPC, the quality of the traffic, what's converting different. Let's look at revenue per visitor. RPV is a metric that a lot of people aren't using. So traffic, and then you've got AOV, right? A lot of times there might be a map pricing, or you can't really mess with discounts and deals because of channel conflicts or online or offline. So maybe that's not a lever you can really move heavily, but something to think about and consider as you think about Prime Day. Prime Day had 80% of the brands on Amazon on deal or discount. That's a lot, right? And if you're one of the 20%, that's going to be a kind of a rough couple of days there for you. The third thing is conversion rate. And that is something I think I've seen a lot of companies lose focus on the importance of conversion rate. If you have a premium price, if you're not, if your differentiator isn't value, and maybe it's a, product attribute, maybe it's part of the branding, and you have premium pricing, good for you. Totally fine to be on marketplaces and some of these other, shopping engines that are a little more price focused. But you need to have an experience that backs up that higher premium price. So those images you're using, are you using the right infographics? Your text, is it high quality? I mean, you look at the big brands out there, they're not using kind of some of the hokey emojis that you see a lot. Some of the different tactics I see, and some bad Photoshop out there. But titles and deals, discounts, all make a big difference in conversion rate. And that is something I absolutely would think heavily about versus just where's my traffic coming from and how that traffic's going to perform. Look at the conversion rate and really work on ways to get that up.
Yeah, that's really good advice, Jeff. So tell me a little bit about AI commerce, what you guys do, and then why you started this thing, and how you're helping sellers out there.
Yeah, absolutely. So I've been doing digital marketing for over 20 years. Started in the paid search world. Had an agency I started that was bought by one of the big holding companies. We were always the top 3 spender with Google and Facebook. So rode the search wave, the social wave, and then I saw this marketplace wave. My partner, who owns several brands, started many himself, has been acquiring, and we're kind of building out that central connective tissue in an operating model. So, owning a warehouse, having some customer service, being able to centralize a lot of that has been interesting. So that was his background. He said, "Hey, Jeff, not all these brands want to share equity or be purchased. Let's roll out an agency model." And that was my background, building out what was Resolution Media, and now doing that focused on marketplaces. We're still doing the traditional digital, right? The search and the social and the DSPs. And that's so important still, but the focus is absolutely on marketplaces where we see just a lot of the e-commerce. So that is AI commerce. We focus across all sorts of verticals, from toys to food and beverage to sporting goods. I have a lot of great clients, and again, able to bring the people or the experience, the process, and the technology over from the own brand side to apply to a lot of our wonderful agency clients.
Yeah, this is great. So, Jeff, who is the perfect client for you? And generally, what are you helping them do? What are they struggling with that you guys step in and kind of take control and push growth?
Yeah, I think it's that specialization. You can test and learn your way through a lot of the platforms yourselves. If you're an owner of a business, your time might be spent better on product development and just running the core business than trying to learn and keep up with all the ins and outs of digital media marketing and content. So that is usually when a brand gets big enough to bring in the expertise, but maybe can't bring in a whole team, because you think of the world, and we'll use the Amazon example, you need to have hands-on keyboards, you need some level of QA, and you need some level of strategy, all kind of understanding the ecosystem of not just Amazon, but all of digital marketing. And so most likely as you've gone from a small business and you're like, I got to hire a full-time marketing person or media person, you're not going to get the full gamut of the hands-on keyboards to roll up your sleeve QA and strategy. So you bring in an agency or a consultancy like us that can, have portions of people, have teams of people, have the process that is tried and true to come in. So usually it's somebody who's plateaued trying to do it themselves, or just kind of gotten a little large for being able to handle and keep up with that ever-changing industry. I always joke, Seth, we live in dog years, right? 1 = 7. So it is tough, even full time, to keep up with this crazy industry. So, and Gen Z coming along, the digital natives, hey, they're stirring it up even more. That is a big market to go after, and they don't just go to one platform. They really are diversified in their searches and their research and brand experience.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does seem like you blink and you missed 5 things. So Jeff,
Yeah.
Do you have any special offer or any place that people should go to check out what you guys do? I'm a seller thinking to myself, hey, I'd really like for Jeff to take a look at what I have. Maybe he can help. Where should I go? And what does that look like?
Yeah, happy to do a free audit assessment at any time. We also do a go-to-market strategy. A lot of times when somebody's launching, they're like, where do I start? How do I build a business plan? How do I forecast out performance? So in terms of special offer, we're willing to cut that launch fee or that go-to-market strategy in half and help with that business plan and the forecast. So that's a big one. Going into Q4, we're taking on a few more clients this year. So do reach out, aicommerce.com or jeff@aicommerce.com as well.
Yeah, this is really good. So aicommerce.com, check out what Jeff's got going on. Jeff, we're going to transition to the last part of our show, which I really like. Since you're a professor I'm sure you'll have a good answer here. What is your all-time favorite business book?
Ooh, it's cliche, but Good to Great by Jim Collins. I in my first startup, that was just so important. The concepts of getting the right people on the bus and figuring out their seats later. Good is the enemy of great. Like those so ring true.
Yeah.
Is that cliche, Seth?
Hey, you're a professor, so I expected you to have something that was, grand. So you couldn't go with some obscure title, I don't think. So that was a good answer.
Well, the problem, Seth, is as soon as it goes out to print, if it's in digital marketing, it's almost obsolete too fast. So like for the students, I was like, well, what are we doing for our readings? I'm like, we're gonna read like blogs and websites and things that are going to be a lot more fresher than like a 200 or 300 page book that probably costs a lot of money for a poor student. And they are very happy to hear they'll be reading business reports from eMarketer and the like.
Well, Jeff, we'd love to send you one of our books. Maybe you can have your students read it. It's called Private Label Millionaire Secrets if you haven't picked up a copy. The last question that we have for you today, Jeff, is another fun one. In the last year or so, you may have purchased something that was a splurge or maybe considered a splurge by somebody else, but you don't regret spending the money. Did you buy anything cool over the last year?
Oh, yeah. I'm a mountain biking guy, and the prices of mountain biking, those bikes are ridiculous. And
yeah, they are.
They're more than cars. And so I won't go into the details, but that was a big splurge of, getting a carbon bike that was pretty tricked out, and I'm probably over biked at this point, but that was a big one. And then, the craze of pickleball, right? I bought myself a nice carbon fiber pickleball paddle. Didn't change my game at all, but I don't know. It was fun.
But you like it better,
There's
right?
a twofer for you, Seth.
I love it. My brother's dying to get me to go mountain biking tomorrow with him, but I don't know if I can squeeze out of the office on a Friday. We'll have to see. So,
yeah,
it'll be a lot more fun if I can get on a hill for sure. But Jeff, this has been amazing, man. Any place else that people should go out and find out more about what you guys have going on?
I think the website, the blog is great. We do write at least weekly on a current topic. We're putting out some content now, getting ready for the holidays. We have some good stuff on how to improve your conversion rate, and a lot of white papers on Walmart that gives you a lot more of the stats. So all on our website and our blog that should be able to help you out a lot at Aicommerce.com.
So find out more at Aicommerce.com. Jeff, this has been amazing. Love to have you back on in the future. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Seth.